Good.
I brought show and tell. Okay, I'm gonna ask when I pass this one around, I did steal it off the production floor, so please, no scratches, dents, or anything like that. You'd get me in trouble. Alright. So, my name is Lisa Atkins, and I am the HR Director over at Universal Presentation Concepts. We are a company that's been in business for about 40 years. What we do is we design, engineer, and manufacture retail store fixtures and point-of-purchase displays for customers such as Springs. They're actually one of our customers. We started out with just as a sign company, and as things kind of progressed, we started adding more materials and more processes, and now we work with just about any material you can think of, including electronics. We mostly focus in the stationery and gift industry, excuse me, sports and rec, home appliances, and housewares. That's where a majority of our work is being done currently. This is our facility. It's 120,000 square feet. It doesn't look that big from Stoughton Road. I was surprised when I went in there the first time, but it is that big. What's really nice and unique about us, excuse me, a lot of manufacturing companies will focus on one or two processes. We actually have, excuse me, over 20 processes in-house. So we are able to control and really monitor the project from beginning to end. We do have a lot of customers that come in and do tours with us, and they can actually see the design, the engineering, they walk out to prototyping, and then they walk the entire plant, and they can see every part of how their product is made or how their display is made to showcase their product in the different retail stores. Some of our processes. So I'm going to pass this around. This is a little stand we created for Crocs. It's what they call expanded PVC, and what happens is it goes through the CNC machine. It comes in these really big, 8-foot sheets. It's cut, it's drilled. It's then sent to the printing department, and from there it goes into plastic fabrication where it's on heated bars, and then it bends to any shape that we possibly need. Thank you. The CNC machining, most everything goes through CNC. This is kind of a unique thing that we do. This is for Ruger. We actually took regular plywood on this one. We printed a wood grain look to it, and then we took it to our CNC department. They cut all the holes and all the engraving to make it look the way that it does, and then we attach the handles and the battery pack to make clocks for Ruger. This is actually something they give out to their employees, so it's pretty cool once you get a look at it. Vacuum forming, I'll show you Bugs here. Bugs was something that we did for the WB company. What we do is we get these really large sheets of plastic. We print onto the plastic. We then take it over to the vacuum forming machines, and you can see kind of right in there, large sheets. The heat and the pressure then go around the mold, and that's what creates the shapes when you do your vacuum forming. So we do quite a bit in vacuum forming as well. Large format printing. I'm going to show you this little piece right here. It looks like metal. It's actually a brushed aluminum, and then we just printed the logo right on there. This is a 102-foot printer. We do everything from banners to small stuff like this. Something small like this would be printed first and then sent out to the CNC machine to cut out all of the individual little pieces. Screen printing, all right, this is the biggie. So this is a screen printed item. This process was kind of cool. They actually did two sides, and what you'll see is there's a piece of particle board in between that CNC machine, and it actually sits on top of one of their displays. You'll also notice that there's some edge banding around the edge too to give it that finished look. Panel processing, when I talk about big sheets, this is the big cutter that cuts everything down to get it to the smaller places in there. Edge banding is what I talked about. This is our inline edge bander. There's also one for contour pieces such as this Starbucks piece as well. Die cutting. You'll see pictures in a little bit. When you go to maybe Walmart or Walgreens and you're buying cards out of these little round circular bins, they're these little plastic holders. They're actually cut on the die cut machine. They're put back into a plastic fabrication heated bar. It's at a different type of heat, and then they're bent to create those forms to hold the cards. We also do painting and spraying. That one's kind of fun. We have a booth back there. We do large installations for a lot of different gift and card manufacturers. Those slat walls, they can actually come in and customize any kind of holders or hangers that they want. And from there, you know, we can line them up. We've had them 10 deep. We always pre-arrange everything in our facility to make sure it's going to fit. Then we break it down and ship it out, and then send our installers to do it out at the customer's site. And then there they are installing one of the pieces. So I wanted to give you an idea of some of the customers and products that we do locally and nationally. April Air, we created that whole display bin for them based on some specifications that they gave us so that they could display their items. At the top left there, you'll see Cabela's. We created the slat wall, and then the little shelves. It's similar to that Crocs display. It's that bent piece, fits right into the slat wall so that they could display their ducks there. The window treatments, this was actually something we worked with Springs on. It's in a Menards, and it displays a lot of different blind or shade options just right in that particular hut. The bottom is Papyrus. This is a wall of different little turntables so that they could have as many cards as they want out for that particular store. Menards, we do all of the printing and a good chunk of anything that you see with the green or any type of direction on there from Menards. They're one of our larger clients, so you'll see a lot of our work there. Bushnell, they're a smaller client, but you can see the plastic fabrication and the forming to do little tabletop or what we call point of purchase displays for people. Crocs, everybody knows Crocs, right? Who doesn't own a pair of Crocs? We did that display. And one of the things that we've really gotten into this last year are these little kitchen vignettes. We're working with a distributor who's working with a lot of appliance companies who are in retail stores, and they want to display their product, but when you walk in, they want you to feel like, oh, that would look great in my home. So we've been working with solid surface countertops, granite countertops, tiles. We do all of the decoration other than the appliance so that the product that they're selling is very appealing to the customers when they come in. So this is really kind of fun. We actually hire cabinet makers, finishers, people with a lot of attention to detail. There's a lot of different processes that goes into this, and you really kind of have to know what you've been doing in order to put those together. So that's kind of fun. Some of our career opportunities. The ones highlighted in blue are the positions that really don't require any prior experience. I would venture to say, there was a debate about this, the CNC operator, I think kids coming out of school with some machining, I believe we can teach them CNC operating as well. I do think that that's there for them. We currently have 63 people in these positions. We are a company growing. We've got 15 open positions right now. So to me, this is just what we have now. Who knows what we're going to have in 2 weeks? You know, things can change, and we're very flexible. We definitely want to move with the times and stay ahead of the game as much as possible. In production, this is kind of how our career path works. People come in, they have the ability to become a department lead. From there, to become a department manager, they can move up into production management, and then from there, general manager is a possibility. We've got our current production manager now has been with us 20 years. This is exactly what he did. Came into one department, was really great, learned a lot of other departments, moved up to lead, then moved up to department manager, and now he is the guy to go to whenever you need to know something about the company or the process. As far as multiple career paths, this is something that kind of happens as well. Talked a little bit about cabinet making. Sometimes we'll hire people to come in, maybe they've been in the construction industry as a finisher, or they've done woodworking. They can actually come into this position, become a studio lead, so then they really know all of the different things that we do. From there, they can go 3 different ways. They can become an installer, which is where you travel. You go out and you install the different fixtures that we're making. You can become a prototyper. This is where you work directly with design engineer in coming up with the ideas. It may not even be the final product, but you're trying to figure out, how do we build this thing? How do we engineer it? And seeing, if it really meets the needs of the customer. And then of course the studio manager as well. For non-production paths, this is the kind of the path our current general manager took. He's been there 19 years. Started out as a part-time drafter during school, moved into design and engineering. From there, became the design engineer manager, and last March became our general manager. So the next step for him is, potentially president if he keeps doing what he's doing. So that's kind of exciting. Non-production, this one I wanted to show multiple paths as well. Coming in as a receptionist, we have a young lady who did this, went into our customer service department, really got to know our catalog, our customers, and what we do, and from there she moved into account management. We have another gentleman who moved into inside sales through the same path, but they also could have moved into accounting or purchasing. Those departments really intermix, so you can start one place, but certainly can go some other place if your interest or your skill set maybe pushes you in that direction. So we don't kind of pigeonhole people, we just kind of see where they go and how to best get them there. Skills for success. Dependability is a really big thing. I don't hate to say it, this millennial age, but just having people that really want to be at work and people that we can count on is a really big thing for us. If somebody doesn't show up, it could potentially help us or hinder us to hit a deadline. So having dependability is really important. Flexibility. One of the things, because we do so many processes, we don't want people that are going to come in and just want to work at this one job. We want people who want to sort of stretch themselves, who want to learn the processes so that they have abilities in other areas, not just that one job. So flexibility to work other jobs in other departments. Accountability, there's a lot to learn. I've heard from many people, even if you've been here a year, you still don't know everything. So there's always something to learn, constant change, abilities to really grow yourself. You may think you know it, and then surprise, they change 2 things on a product and you got to figure out a new way to package or a new way to process. So having that type of accountability if you don't really understand, or if you make a mistake, raising your hand saying, hey, I put the wrong part in there, now we got to look at 50 boxes. So just, kind of speaking up. Professional, being respectful of others and property. Some of these products are very delicate, as I kind of pointed out to you, so certainly just because you're in a manufacturing plant, you don't want to be throwing things around. You certainly want to have respect for the property. We don't want to have to start the process over, so that's real important as well. And then a good attitude, like to stay busy. We're a very fast-paced environment. There are some people who just can't keep up, and it may not be for them, and that's okay, but it is a fast-paced environment. You certainly want people that enjoy being active and standing all day, not necessarily in the same place. There aren't too many jobs where you're in the same place. Important coursework from the high school standpoint. English, written and verbal skills are really important. Everybody at some point in the plant is reading a schematic or a blueprint. When we put our, what we call cookbooks together, it tells you everything from the design, engineering point, all the way through how you package it, how you ship it. These books are anywhere from 10 to 30 pages long, and it's every step of the process. Math, there's a lot of converting, a lot of keeping track of details, so they definitely want to make sure that they can do some basic math when they're trying to hit their quoted times, trying to determine how much they made within that time frame, making sure that we're hitting all of the metrics that we need to hit. Reading, again, being able to interpret those directions, as well as safety data. If you're working in like our studio department where we do the cabinet making, there's a lot of adhesives and things you're working with. You need to be aware and be able to read some of the safety data that goes with it. Computer skills, we're trying to get to more computerized tracking of stuff on the floor, not so much paper, so being able and being comfortable in front of a computer is really important. Also, if you're in the CNC area, when you're in front of the machine, there's a little bit of computer work that you need to do. You don't program, but you certainly need to know and be comfortable with computers. Physical ed, being able to stand 8 to 10 hours. We can have some long days, and having that type of stamina is going to be really important as well. And then shopper mechanical classes, having an awareness, of how to measure, of understanding accuracy, understanding tolerances, just kind of having an interest in it is really important as well. And would help people just kind of move into maybe not an entry level but maybe even a higher position if they've got some background in that as well. And then any knowledge of hand or power tools. We have our own, I didn't show the picture, we have our own box maker. We customize all of our boxes. So we're stapling boxes all day long or taping boxes all day long. We're drilling different things with some of the products that you sell. So just having comfort with those tools and working, with tape guns as well. That's something that we do pretty much on a daily basis. Okay? And that's it. Any questions?